This YouTube niche is criminally untapped and it's making people rich, and I seriously mean it. This niche I'm about to show you is a surefire way to scale to 5K a month with ease, and I'm going to walk you through the exact steps on how I can replicate it. Now, I do want to emphasize this really quickly. Don't just copy the exact niche I show all the time, because chances are a lot of people are going to kind of do the same thing, and that's simply going to oversaturate a niche. Use the steps I show in today's video to replicate something in the exact same style that might be more catered towards something you're interested in, something else that you might find with the same info that I give you. Now, without yapping anymore, let me get straight into it. Now, the niche I'm going to be showing you is this one right here. It is called Plain Curious. Now, they essentially post videos on what the Boeing 747 hump was really for. Emirates wants an A380 Neo, but there's a catch. They are pulling in tons of views. They only started about 3 months ago, so it's a very fresh niche. Now, the way I found this was, you guys might already know, I own a website called vid.gg. It's my own personal tool that just released very recently. So in the daily niches, we post tons of niches every single day that are completely untapped, blowing up recently. This was a part of today's batch, so 6 hours ago, aviation informative niche. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is just simply show you how much money these guys are making. Let's go ahead and grab their channel URL. We're going to head to vid.gg and we're going to go ahead and check. First off, whenever you're finding a niche that you might want to start, we do want to ensure that the channel is monetized first. Now, there are a few ways to do this. I believe there may be a few Chrome extensions to do it, monetization checker, but on vid.gg, we have our own software. So I'm going to paste it in and you guys are going to see that this channel is specifically monetized. There we go. Monetization detected. Ads are active. Verification is detected. One thing you also want to check is to ensure that the content or whatever niche you may be starting is not kids content. I've said this numerous times before. Kids content is going to give you a much lower RPM and is really not what we're looking for. Now, revenue as well, this channel is pulling in a lot. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So here we go. We can see we've gone ahead and pasted in the channel link that I just showed you guys. We can see the market size has massive reach, massive audience with exceptional viral potential. Saturation 64, so we've got a minimal amount of saturation, making it easy for us to kind of get into this market. Profitability, it says low profitability, but that's solely because the niche is very niche. If you guys don't know what that means, aviation isn't huge, but sometimes finding those sub niches can be super profitable in the long run. Now, their RPM is anywhere from $2.65 to about $3.80 on the high end. I would find that to be true, probably on a bit of the higher side. In terms of views they're pulling every single month, these guys are pulling about 1.3 mil views a month. So with an RPM of about $4, they're pulling in about $5.2 thousand a month. And as I'm about to show you guys really quick, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I would personally replicate these videos one for one, how you guys can do the same, and exactly what's needed. Now, they're pulling in about $5 a month. If I had to guesstimate expenses on this channel, they're posting once every other day. Let's say each video costs about $25 to edit. And then of course, we're not going to count the voice acting and stuff like that because that's extremely cheap. They're posting about 15 times a month. So their expenses are only $375 a month and they're pulling in $5 a month. Now, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I would replicate this niche right now. Really quickly, guys, if you want to go ahead and find daily niches that I share in my videos every single day, as well as get access to RPM estimators, revenue trackers, monetization checkers, free monetized channel giveaways that we're going to be doing every single week, go ahead and check out vid.gg. And because we have just released it, use the promo code LAUNCH1 for a 10% discount, and that's only going to work for the first 3 users. Now let's get straight into it. What do we need to kind of replicate a niche like this and scale to 5K a month extremely quickly? First thing is video ideation and the ideation process and saving it under a new ChatGPT model base. Now, some of you guys have probably used ChatGPT before to do this type of thing. What I personally hate is needing to use a new chat every single time and kind of not maintaining what it already knows from previous chats. There's not really any improvement, and unless you want to spend millions of dollars training your own private model for YouTube automation, this is by far the next best thing. So let's say we wanted to copy Plain Curious. We're going to go over to a brand new ChatGPT window and we're going to go ahead and take a screenshot of their most popular videos. And once again, this works for any niche you might be doing. Let's say you wanted to copy somebody else's niche. You would just simply follow the exact same formula I'm showing you now for Plain Curious. So I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of their homepage, including their most popular videos. This is very important because these videos are the most popular. They're more than likely outliers, meaning they performed exceptionally well, and replicating that same formula is going to work well on your end. So you're going to go ahead and paste that screenshot into ChatGPT, a brand new fresh window, and say something along the lines of, pretend you're a YouTube guru and an AVD/CTR expert. I'm copying this channel's niche. make me 10 ideas with the same premise and virality. You're going to go ahead and press enter on this, and it's going to essentially give you some really good ideas that follow that site, that kind of formula. Here we go. Why Boeing's most successful jet was actually a mistake. This jet was so advanced, airlines rejected it. The secret war between Airbus and Boeing you have never heard of. So many different ideas that are super good, honestly would catch my attention if I was a viewer of this niche. Now that you've done that, you've essentially started on your title generator. This is for video ideation. We're going to get into script writing, thumbnail generation, the whole shebang later in this video. For now, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is create a brand new project. I'm going to go ahead and do this here. You can press add to project, press new project, and you're going to go ahead and let's say you're doing an aviation channel. I'm going to say aviation YTA. Now that I've created this brand new project, I can actually have this new section inside of that. So this is for my video ideation. I'm going to rename this to title/idea generator. And remember, if you have 10 automated channels, you can have brand new projects for every single one with pre-trained models in that specific niche. Now this changes the game. It makes things so much easier long-term wise to really get this going. So we have our good ideas. One thing you can do to even optimize this further is to pick the ones you like. For example, let's say I like these 3 the most, and then go ahead and say to it, I love these ideas, make more like this. What it's gonna do is essentially continue optimizing that even more. So we've got our title generator, we've got our video ideation expert, which usually in the past before AI, would have costed an insane amount of money to get going. Now that we've got that, the next step is obviously script writing, training a script writer to work for you long-term without mistakes. Now for a niche like this, it is exceptionally easy to do your scripts. We're gonna go ahead and make a new chat again, completely fresh one. Once again, we are gonna add this back to our project later, but for the meantime, let me teach you how to make these scripts. We're gonna go ahead and look up YouTube transcript downloader, and we're gonna go ahead and take one of their videos. Once again, this would work for whatever niche you may be doing. We're gonna go ahead and take their video, paste it into a transcript downloader. We're gonna press extract transcript and copy the transcript. And there we go. I've gone ahead and pasted in the original screenshot that we took of their channel. What I've gone ahead and said to them was, I'm starting a YouTube automated channel in this niche. Here's one of their scripts. I've gone ahead and pasted in that entire YouTube transcript script into ChatGPT, and then I've said, copying this exact formula, write me a script optimized for watch time and viewer engagement in this same style, but for the title, and then one of the ideas we came up with recently, which was the secret war between Airbus and Boeing you've never heard of. Now, really quickly guys, if you are doing this exact way of writing scripts, I would recommend using deep research. I'm not going to do it in today's video because it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'd rather show you guys the exact way that I do it without it. But if you do want to go ahead and do that, make sure you're using it. I'm going to do it without just for the sake of today's video, but the outcome should be very similar. The only difference is it'll spend a bit more time and it'll kind of double check the research, so it's making sure it gets the correct facts. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press enter on this, and it's essentially going to turn itself into a perfect scriptwriter. Remember, you can work on this. You can train these models to be perfect in the future going forward, and of course add it towards your project and consistently keep reusing it for all of your scripts, all of your titles, everything. It's gone ahead and written it. In the high-stakes world of commercial aviation, 2 titans dominate the skies. One, a brash American pioneer with roots in World War II bombers. It's essentially just a perfect script that follows the exact same style as the reference we sent. We know that this style of script works in this specific niche because Plain Curios gets away with it and is making quite a lot of money. Now that we've done this, we've obviously got our script. We're going to go ahead and wait for this to kind of generate up. Let me go ahead and refresh ChatGPT. There we go. We're going to go ahead and add this to our aviation project, and bang, just like that, in our aviation YTA project now, we have our title idea, and then we're going to go ahead and rename this one to scriptwriter. Very, very easy. And now we've essentially trained a perfectly useful scriptwriting tool and a generator for title ideas and video ideation. Now, next up is obviously voice acting. This is imperative. This is extremely important for a long-term channel success. Now, when I am showing an ultra long form channel, I would recommend not using 11 Labs if you're just starting out because it can be expensive if you have a lot of audio to process. But because we're doing a channel like this, where the length of the videos isn't too long, it's very cheap to just use 11 Labs. Even if you're using the $25 a month plan, I'm pretty confident with every other day uploads, you wouldn't even need to use the $100 a month plan. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, just for the sake of today's video, give you a little bit of an idea on how a good voice on 11 Labs would sound. So we're going to go ahead and copy this, and obviously if you were doing this niche, you would paste the entire script in and have your entire script done. Alright guys, now for the sake of today's video, this 11 Labs thing does not want to work on my current setup. As you can see, I'm not at my home desk, so I'm going to have to use a worse voice just to kind of show you guys how it works. And I'm pretty sure this is probably the easiest thing. Nobody really needs help with generating voices. It's extremely easy to do and very transparent. And obviously I've gone ahead and generated it now.
In the high-stakes world of commercial aviation, two titans dominate the skies. One, a brash American.
So perfect. We've got our script, we've got our voiceover, and we've got our title generator all in one place, as well as obviously video ideation. Now, as you guys know, use a good voice in 11 Labs. It's super easy to just buy a plan, use a professional voice, and really get things going. It definitely isn't rocket science. I would say voice acting is definitely one of the easiest parts you need, and really just replicating what I showed you guys with script writing and title generation is kind of most of the hard work done for you. There's really no labor involved after that. Next up, we obviously have outsourcing and editing team, $25 to about $40 a video in a niche like this. Now, yes, if you are just starting out, you definitely can get away with doing the videos yourself, but obviously if you can afford to kind of invest a little bit, these videos are not hard to make at all. I'll go ahead and show you guys now.
That seem impossible, even crossing.
It is essentially just stock images. It's really not much. It's nothing that would take you too long to do. And really, if you are looking for a team, one place I would recommend would be discord.gg/creative paradise. Just like this, go ahead and give a reference. So give the link to the channel you're trying to copy and make a job post and be like, look, I'm looking to get this made, here's my budget, and you'll get hundreds of DMs. Next option would obviously be to go on Upwork or Fiverr. I probably wouldn't recommend Fiverr. I would definitely lean more towards Upwork or Creative Paradise if it was up to me. And yeah, you'll essentially get them on a bulk deal. So a few kind of strategies I used to use was offering them bulk deals, being like, look, this is going to be a super long-term job. I'm willing to pay up front and we're really going to keep this going for a long time. So what's the cheapest price you can work out? In my opinion, I'd say this niche, you really wouldn't need to spend anywhere over about $25 a video. And of course, if you're posting 15 times a month, that's only going to equal every single month in expenses of $375. And as I said, making 5K a month in this niche is so easy, especially if you go ahead and use vid.gg, where we share niches like this every single day. And obviously, as I said, we do pre-monetized channel giveaways every week for only vid.gg members, meaning if you win a channel, you can essentially be monetized right off the rip. So if you guys do want to go ahead and do that, remember vid.gg, use the promo code launch1 for the first 3 people. That'll give you a 10% off discount. Now, up next, we have arguably the most important part, and that is thumbnail ideation and upload processes. Now, in today's time, if you are not doing an IRL channel or something extremely high quality, there is no reason to not use AI thumbnails. They have progressed so far and they have become just astronomically good that it really is just a no-brainer. So for the sake of today's video, let's say you wanted to copy Plain Curious. I'm going to show you exactly how I would make these thumbnails far better than them and for very, very cheap. I believe essentially $0 a month for thumbnail generation. So to do thumbnail generation, I would recommend vidIQ AI thumbnail generation. It is insanely cheap. I believe it's like $4 a month, or you can kind of just use the free version and it doesn't even ask you to spend money. So it's amazing. Once again, not sponsored. Let me show you exactly how this works and how you can replicate whatever thumbnail style you're trying to do. So I'm going to go ahead and press reference on the AI thumbnail generator. We're going to paste in the thumbnail of the channel that we want to copy. Press continue and it'll obviously save their thumbnail there. Now you want to go ahead and grab obviously title idea of the video you're trying to do. So we're going to go ahead and do the secret war between Airbus and Boeing you never heard of. And I've gone ahead and said, copy this exact thumbnail style, optimized for CTR, but for the title, the secret war between Airbus and Boeing you've never heard of. I'm going to go ahead and press create and watch this thing cook. It actually gives you 3 different options of thumbnails, and I'm going to go ahead a step further. And once this is done, show you exactly how to optimize these thumbnails even more than what they already are. And here we go, just like that, it's given us a fairly decent thumbnail. Personally, I'm not a fan of the clouds or any of that stuff because it kind of takes away from the CTR, in my opinion, and kind of draws your attention away. But once again, not a horrible thumbnail whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and download that, but I would recommend going back. And once again, as I said, it's completely free. Go back, change a few things. If you want to edit it, you can go ahead and make simple changes, hover over this and be like, remove that. You could simply press edit and then describe the edit and say, change the text, anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and to optimize this thumbnail even further, we're going to head over to a website called Photop. I'm going to press new project and I'm going to go ahead and put in the YouTube thumbnail size. We're going to go ahead and download the image we just made before, drag that in. And if you do want to optimize CTR, one of the biggest things is saturation. We're going to go ahead and make this a little bit more saturated, bring the colors out a bit, and obviously increase the brightness. Now that we've done that, it's obviously made the thumbnail a lot more clickable, and this is something that kind of works for most niches you may be doing. Just like that, you're going to go ahead and download this. So now we've got our thumbnail sorted, voice acting sorted, script writing sorted, editing sorted, and obviously coming up with the ideas. That's essentially the fundamental things that you need to copy a niche exactly like this. Now guys, once again, if you want to join my public Discord server, it's discord.gg/1%. We give free info every single day. It's a really welcoming community, a really nice place. We have like 4,000 members. And of course, as I've been saying in all video, vid.gg has just released the #1 YouTube research tool. Once again, use promo code LAUNCH1 for the first 3 people and you'll be given a discount code. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something new and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.